Yo guys, what is up? Solo in here. I'm back with a new video. Alright, so this is a different type of video other than my gaming videos or whatever. So yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. But yeah, I've had a bunch of comments on my other videos asking. No, I've actually had this comment for a while. Like, a lot of people have been asking me, oh Solo, and how do you make your thumbnails? How do you make your thumbnails? Dude, you gotta tell me how you make your thumbnails, dude, how do you make your thumbnails, bro? You gotta make a video on how you make your thumbnails. You gotta make a video on how to edit your videos. You gotta do that, dude. I'm just like, alright, I guess. I mean, if you guys want to see how I make my thumbnails so bad, I guess. But there are multiple ways on how I make my thumbnails depending on how lazy I am, how I'm feeling or whatever, or what type of video it is. So the software, like, I'm just gonna get it started. Like, the software I use to make my thumbnails on YouTube or just any artwork in general is Gimp. The reason why I use Gimp is because it's free, open source, and it's pretty cool. It's free, and I didn't feel like paying like a bunch of money for like a software like Photoshop. I mean, I know there are like freaking cracks and torrents out there, but I mean, you don't really want to take that risk. I mean, it's your choice. I mean, I chose to use Gimp. Photoshop is a good alternative, or Gimp. I mean, if you don't want to pay for Photoshop or any of those other photo editings. Sorry, I got a Skype call. But anyways, if you don't want to waste money on Photoshop or something, you could just use Gimp. And yeah, so once you've downloaded Gimp, the format, well, not really format, the resolution I use for what's it called again, for Gimp is 1280 by 720. The reason why I use this thumbnail setting is because YouTube has this like feature in thumbnails where that if your thumbnail isn't like a specific dimension or a specific size, it'll either narrow it down or increase the size to like where it will just either narrow it or increase the size to where the thumbnail like would fit in, like the picture would fit in the thumbnail. I don't know if you understood that, but I really hope you do. So if you put it 1280 by 720, basically what happens here is that YouTube registers as it as like the width and height format for its usual for its usual thumbnail. So everything that you put inside of this new image, or anything that you put in this thumbnail template or whatever, it will fit onto the YouTube thumbnails when you upload it. I don't know if you guys understood that, but I mean, I really hope you did. But I don't know, because I'm a really horrible teacher, to be honest. Like, if I were to ever freaking become a teacher, I'd either lose patience in my students, or I just like I just end up teaching stupid crap. So anyways, usually for my thumbnails, I end up making templates and then I save them for later future use. And then usually, like, you guys notice that I don't really use the same thumbnail all the time. I usually edit my thumbnails and you know, just put it on YouTube, whatever. So basically, I usually make templates for my thumbnails and then I just, you know, delete the text and then edit it. So this is an example. If you guys have noticed on my death PvPs, they look completely different. Like, I have two different templates for death PvP. Sometimes when I'm feeling it, I use this one, and then sometimes I use this template, and sometimes I, you know, just switch it up a bit and then make it look like this or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, I just like editing my templates. I just make my own templates for my thumbnails, and I just edit it, add some extra stuff to it. And as you guys can see with my ice PvP, I edited it out, and you know, a bunch of cool things too. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how I make my easy thumbnails, my simplistic ones, the ones that like really require no work to make, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make my complicated thumbnails. So hopefully this tutorial won't be long, but for those that really, I don't know, for those that are into art and thumbnail making or whatever, you know, feel free to watch the whole video, whatever. So basically, what I usually do is that I grab a scene. This is one of my lazy thumbnails, by the way. Basically, what I do is I grab a scene, like I take a screenshot of the game. Like, for example, let's say I'm playing CSGO. I basically take a screenshot of me shooting or me with my gun out. I press F, and basically what F does, and on CSGO, it makes you inspect your weapon. So I put that on, and I take a quick screenshot, use that as the background of the video, and then I add text on it. So basically how I do that, I'm using Microsoft Edge right now because I like my Google Chrome right now is just really slow because I have so many add-ons to it, and I really have to clear up the add-ons. So I'm just gonna use Microsoft Edge for now. So basically, I go on Google. Let's say we want to make a CSGO thumbnail. We just look up CSGO artwork or whatever. Sorry if if anybody's watching this video whose artwork is on this. I'm sorry if I'm using your artwork, you know, no copyrights intended, but whatever. So let's say you wanted to make a CS:GO video. You would take like an image off of Google. I wouldn't recommend it 100%. Like it depends on where, like, sometimes taking pictures off of Google can lead to copyright strikes because you don't really necessarily know where it's coming from. But if like the images are open source, like the person that made them allows other people to use them in their thumbnails or whatever, feel free to use that as your thumbnail background or whatever. But an example is this, something like this. So you would take like a background of a game or a background of something, and I'm just gonna use this one because it looks pretty cool. So basically you would just take the background of something and you would basically go into Gimp, you would paste it, and then you would want to name your layer. Let's name this layer background or something, cute background. I don't know, man. We'll name it cute background. So basically you do that. What you do here is you resize the tool. So basically the resize tool is the scale tool. I call it the real resize, but it's called scale. So it's basically these two little boxes on top of each other on the corner, like this one's the top left corner over here. So yeah, so basically you click on this little chain link over here. So basically what this does is that, okay, so if I turn off the chain link, like if I release them, basically you could just mess around with your thing and make it look all lopsided and shit, and I don't like that. I like it when my picture is in even dimensions. And hold on, let me just go back to it. But basically if you want your picture to be in even dimensions and you don't want them like freaking lopping, flipping, flopping around like that, basically what you can do is that you could just click on the little chain button, and then you guys can see here, no matter what you do to it, I mean, if you click up and down, it'll obviously mess up, but so basically you just click on the chain button, you click on the top right or whatever, and it'll just keep the dimensions for it. So basically just keep the dimensions until it fits into the YouTube box or the thumbnail box. So what I do is that I click on this little I button right here, and then I basically this I button, it just basically configures which image will be shown in the thumbnail or which image will be just shown in the final artwork. So if you don't want something showing, you could just turn it off or whatever, and if you want it to show, you could just turn it back on. And sometimes I just use it so I could sort out my things. Like sometimes I would just like turn off a bunch of things, like let's say if I wanted to work on a specific item, let's say if I wanted to work on the background, I would just like mess with the background and then turn everything back on over here, whatever. So I'm really sorry if this thumbnail is not really making any sense to you. For those that are still following along, thank you, I guess. Like I'm telling you, I'm a really horrible teacher. But basically you just scale it until it pretty much kind of fits the background of it. So you scale it to that, to wherever you feel like you want to scale it to. And then basically what I do here is that you guys kind of see the outline on the thumbnail. So obviously that doesn't show on YouTube, but I don't have OCD, but it just really bothers me how like it kind of sticks out. So basically I click on layer to image size, and basically what that does is that it makes the layer, it makes the background or whatever I'm using over here, it makes it so that it fits or matches the resolution that you're using for your thumbnail. So if I go back and stop doing that, if I go back, basically this resolution will be much different than the original one. I'm not sure what this resolution is, but I don't know, I just don't really like clicking on this layer and then seeing that there are what's it called again, little lines at the edge of it. I mean, that may not bother you, it's nothing you really have to do, but like it's not a necessity, like I'm being 100% honest, but I just don't really like seeing the outline over there. So yeah, so basically what I do for the next thing is that I open a new layer over here, and then this layer is for my text. So what I do is I grab this little text button, not text, but yeah, I grab the little text, the text key. It's a if you don't already know that. Basically what I do is that before I start typing, I size my I change the size of my font before I start typing. Usually I adjust it because the bigger font equals better I mean, it honestly depends, because basically what happens is that if you make the font size bigger on this side and then you try to make it bigger and then you okay, I'm just not gonna go into detail with this, but anyways, you increase the font size. It doesn't really matter what size you're going for. It just depends. Like I mean, it does matter what size you're going for, but what I'm trying to say is that it depends on how much you want the text to show out in the video. So basically what I do, let's say let's name this thumbnail tutorial. Let's put thumbnail. Oh god. So let me just resize this a bit. Let me just put that over here. Okay, thumbnail tutorial. And yeah, so basically what I do here is I type in the words I want to do. So what I do over here is that I justify what the text looks like. So as you guys can see here, it's like in normal format. It's like I don't know how to really explain it, but the text is all the way at the left. So if you guys want to, you know, change it around, you can click on these buttons. This one makes it go on the right, this one makes it go on the middle, this one makes it go on the left again. Like this is left justified, this is right justified, this is centered. So I like my thumbnail centered just because I don't know, it gives it that clean look. So yeah, so I mean, this is what I do here. So I changed the font of it. Let's say I want to use I have a bunch of fonts downloaded on my computer, but I use a specific font. So today we're just gonna use I don't know, let's see, what is this? There was actually this one font I like. It's not American Captain. It was something else. Oh yeah, Avengers. Yeah, this is this one. I spelled tutorial wrong. Tutorial. What is this? Tutorial. Okay, tutorial. Oh wait, what the fuck? What am I doing? Okay, tutorial. Thumbnail tutorial. So basically, it's like I kind of center the text a little bit. I move it around to the middle, and then I center it. And what I do here is that I turn the text white. So what I do here is that I turn my text white depending on what thumbnail I'm going for. I could be going for a black base and then a purple trim or whatever. So basically what I work on, I usually have white bases, and then the trims are just like a random color. So I mean, it's your choice. You could have what's it called again? You could have a red base, and then the outline or the trim could be another color. So basically what I'm gonna, for now I'm just gonna be using white. My god, I choked on my own spit. What the hell? I'm gonna be using a white base. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm going to alpha selection this. Alpha selection basically just selects everything on the image that's not, you know, transparent, because obviously this is a transparent image for now. So what I do here is that I grow it, and basically what growing does is that, I mean, it does what it does, it grows. So I grow it by 9, depending on how big your font size is, or depending on how big your font is. You could grow it, like if it's really small you could grow it by 3 or 5. If it's really big you could grow it by like 9 or 10. And these voice cracks are amazing. But anyways, so what I do here is that I make a new layer on this, and this is the new layer button. It looks like a sheet of paper at the bottom right. So you click on new layer. There should be like a transparent layer over here, and over here there's a foreground and background what's it called again? There's a foreground and background area. So what I do here is I click on this little blend tool. It's a blend tool. So if you're looking at a toolbox, it looks like a blackish color fading into white over here. So it's somewhere, it's like right next to the paint box, or however you have your GIMP formatted. So basically I take the blend tool, I click on the foreground right here, and the foreground could be like light blue. So you could just mess around with the colors whatever you want to. You can just mess around with the colors in here, and I don't know, somewhere in here if you enjoy that, but I usually use this. So I'm gonna make this like a sort of sky bluish type color. So the foreground is about, it's like bluish. So if you want to ever change the background, you can either click on this white area, or you could just switch it around. Like this little area next to the foreground background button switches them around, so that let's say you wanted the dark color, and like if you wanted the dark color first, it would come out first instead of the light color, and if the light color wanted to come out first, like it's like, or vice versa. But yeah, so right here we're gonna go with a lightish bluish color. And what I'm gonna be doing here is that after you're done like sorting out your colors, after you're done with whatever color you're trying to go for this thumbnail, you click on this little shape button, and I usually use radio just to give it like a little radial all out look. And as you guys can see, it gets dark at the middle, and towards the end it gets lighter. But here's what I'm going to show you guys. If you change the foreground and background, like if you switch the places, basically what it's going to do is that the light part is going to start at the middle and the dark part is going to start at the end. But I usually like it when I usually like it when it starts from dark to light. So yeah, so what you can do here is it's still selected, like this little area, this layer selected. So what you can do here is click on select, then you can click on none, and then from there you would want to click on this little green button. It looks like a bottom arrow. Basically it just lowers the layer one step in the layer stack, so you just move it down and then boom, it gives it like this nice, gives it like this really nice looking text. Like it just looks nice as hell. So you could get really fancy to it. Like I usually add drop shadows. I don't really think you guys notice it, but if you guys ever want to add a drop shadow, you should click on the colored layer right here. And then you could click on lights and shadows, and you could click on drop shadows, and then keep all these drop shadows settings, and then right there, as you guys can see, there's like a little shadow on it. And then once you're done with your text, you could just merge it down. You could just basically what you want to do to merge it down is that you right click on the top text, and then you merge down. You click on the merge down button, you merge it down again. Don't merge down with the background, because obviously, because if you merge down with the background, it'll be like a complete image. It'll just be like that. But if you don't merge it down with the background, if you don't merge it down with the background, it'll be its own separate image. Like as you guys can see, the background is its own separate image, and this is its own separate image. So you can just delete the background, or you don't have to. You can just copy and paste it. But basically what I do is that I copy this, like I control C, or you could just right click and then click on file, and then copy. You could right click and then you can click on edit, and then you can click copy, but that just takes too long. You can just do that easy step, control C. You just click on control C, and then you could just press control V, and then you paste it. So it's thumbnail tutorial. And yeah, basically you never want to do it. I just did right now because I basically made the thumbnail. Basically I made the thumbnail's text color the same color as like the background of this image. So pretty much in the end, you could do whatever you want to this thumbnail. Like once you've already added your text, you could just basically add whatever you want, whether it's a random picture, whether it's text or whatever. You could even just take out this background and add like a weird gradient to the background or something. You could just make it what's it called again, you could just make it like black and white or something. It's completely your choice of what you want to do with this, but this is just a simple tutorial, nothing too complex, nothing too difficult. It's just completely simple. So there was one thing I really wanted to add in before I ended off this video, and it was how to render or export your file to your computer as an actual thumbnail image. So basically, before you export it or whatever, I usually save my thumbnails so I could use them for future reference if I ever want to make like a thumbnail similar to the one I used in the past. So basically what I do is I save it as whatever thumbnail name, and then I just save it as something. So let's name this freaking thumbnail tutorial. Yeah, whatever. I already saved it earlier, but it's just for you guys, so you just save it. I'll replace it just because I already have it. So once you're already done, you can click on file again, and you can click on export. You export it to your computer, and then you export it. You export it to your computer. You click on the export button, and after you click on the export button, there should be another dialog that comes up. Do not click anything on this dialog unless you're like really advanced with Gimp or anything. If you're just a starter, amateur, or whatever, just recommend you not to like mess around with these. So just click on export, and then just wait for the bar to load, and then boom, it's exported. So you can just go to your pictures file over here, and then it should be somewhere over here, and yeah, so you can just upload it to YouTube, and yeah, that's your thumbnail. But yeah, that's gonna be it for how I make like my really short thumbnails. I know this video is about 20 minutes long. If you guys want to see how I make my really complicated thumbnails, they're not necessarily complicated, but they have more detail than these types of thumbnails over here. So if you guys want to see a tutorial on how I make my somewhat complicated in quote thumbnails like this, this or this, just drop a like and I guess comment saying that you would want to see it. But I'm probably gonna have to put that in a separate video. I'll probably upload it next week or the week after that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace guys, so have a nice day, and I hope this helped you guys out. As I said like twice before in this video, I'm a horrible teacher, so I don't know if this really helped you. If it did, then you know that's cool. Good luck in your thumbnail making in the future. If it didn't, then I'm sorry. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace guys, so have a nice day. And one more thing before I leave, a lot of you guys actually wanted me to make a video on how I edit my videos, and I'll be sure to do that, but that's probably gonna be a really long video as well. But I mean, anything for you guys, I guess. So yeah, peace guys, so have a nice day. I love you guys, and yeah, let's go.